listen up, because this is where most people mess up. She rejected you, but she still lingers around, sending mixed signals, acting like she's interested. You feel that spark, that possibility, like maybe she's reconsidering. But let me tell you something. You're either in or you're out. And right now, she's keeping you in a gray area, a place where you'll keep hoping while she figures out what she really wants. You don't have time for that. You don't have time to be someone's second choice or emotional crutch. When someone tells you no, believe them the first time. Don't read between the lines. Don't try to decode hidden meanings. A no is a no, and it's your job to respect yourself enough to move forward. But here's where the real test comes in. She's still around. Maybe she's liking your posts, texting you late at night, showing up where you are. And in that moment, your mind plays tricks on you. Maybe she changed her mind. Maybe she's waiting for me to prove something. No. A confident man doesn't wait for someone to make up their mind about him. A confident man sets the terms. You don't wait around to be chosen. You choose yourself. So here's what you do immediately. You set boundaries. You make it crystal clear that you're not here for the games. If she rejected you, she no longer has access to your time, your energy, or your emotions. She can't have the benefits of your presence without the commitment. That's not how this works. And I get it, it's hard. You liked her. Maybe you even thought she was the one. But understand this, real love doesn't play games. Real interest doesn't come with hesitation. You want someone who chooses you with certainty, not someone who keeps you in limbo while they explore other options. So here's your move. You step back, you focus on you, you build yourself, you grow, and you remind yourself that your value isn't determined by someone else's indecision. And guess what? When you stop chasing, when you start respecting yourself enough to walk away from uncertainty, you'll attract the kind of person who won't hesitate about you. That's how you win. Not by waiting, by knowing your worth and acting like it. When someone rejects you but still keeps you close, it creates confusion. One moment she says she's not interested, but the next she's laughing at your jokes, texting you first, or finding reasons to stay in your life. You start questioning everything. Was the rejection real? Is she testing you? Does she secretly want you to try harder? This is the dangerous game of mixed signals. At its core, mixed signals come from two possible places: uncertainty or emotional manipulation. If she's unsure, she might have feelings for you but isn't ready to commit. She may like your attention, enjoy your presence, or even feel a connection, but something is holding her back from fully choosing you. Fear of commitment, personal insecurities, or unresolved emotions from past relationships could be clouding her judgment. And instead of giving you a clear yes or no, she keeps you hanging in between, intentionally or not. The second possibility is manipulation. Some people thrive on attention and validation. They reject you outright, but still want the comfort of knowing you're there, waiting, available. They want to feel desired, even if they have no real intention of being with you. This isn't always malicious. It could be subconscious, but the result is the same. You're left in an exhausting cycle of hope and disappointment. The biggest danger of mixed signals is the way they keep you emotionally invested in someone who has already told you they don't want to be with you. Your mind starts creating false narratives, convincing you that if you just try a little harder, give a little more, or wait a little longer, things will change. But the reality is, the longer you entertain uncertainty, the more you put yourself in a position where your emotions are being controlled by someone else's indecisiveness. Emotional manipulation doesn't always come in obvious form. Sometimes it's subtle, wrapped in kindness, disguised as affection. She rejected you, but she still wants to keep you around. Maybe she texts you late at night, compliments you just enough to keep you interested, or finds ways to stay connected without ever fully committing. This isn't by accident. It's control, whether she realizes it or not. People who do this want to have the best of both worlds. They don't want you, but they don't want to lose you either. They want to feel special knowing that someone is waiting for them, hoping for them, willing to put in effort even when the outcome is unclear. It feeds their ego. It gives them a sense of power. And the worst part, you allow it to happen. Because you believe that maybe, just maybe, she'll change her mind. This kind of behavior keeps you stuck. You become emotionally tied to someone who isn't fully invested in you. Every time you try to move on, she reels you back in with just enough interest to keep you hooked, but never enough to give you what you actually want. And over time, this wears you down. You start to question your worth, wondering what's wrong with you that she can't fully choose you. But the truth is, the problem isn't you, it's the situation. And as long as you let yourself be pulled back into her game, you'll keep losing time, energy, and self-respect. The most deceptive part of emotional manipulation is how it plays with your hope. She knows exactly when to show interest, right when you start to pull away, right when you begin to move on. It's a calculated push and pull, whether intentional or subconscious. One day she's distant, making it clear she doesn't see a future with you. The next, she's warm, playful, making you feel special again. And just like that, you're back where you started, wondering if this time things will be different. This cycle isn't love, it's control. When someone truly cares about you, they don't leave you guessing. They don't reject you one moment and reel you back in the next. They don't make you feel like you have to prove your worth for their affection. The reality is, she enjoys knowing she has a hold on you. She may not even be fully aware of how much power she has, but that doesn't change the fact that she's using it. And the longer you stay caught in this emotional tug of war, the more drained you become. You find yourself constantly trying to decode her actions, analyzing every little thing she says, hoping to find signs that she actually wants you. But deep down, you already know the truth. If she truly wanted to be with you, she wouldn't be keeping you in this cycle. You wouldn't feel uncertain. You wouldn't feel like an option. And the sooner you recognize this, the sooner you take your power back. The hardest part about dealing with mixed signals is that they keep you emotionally invested in something that isn't real. It's like being handed a puzzle with missing pieces. You keep trying to put it together, but no matter what you do, the full picture never appears. You replay every interaction, searching for hidden meaning in her words and actions, convincing yourself that she must feel something for you. After all, why would she still be around if she didn't? But here's the truth. People stay connected for all kinds of reasons that have nothing to do with love or genuine interest. Maybe she enjoys your attention because it boosts her confidence. Maybe she doesn't want to feel alone and you provide comfort. Or maybe she just likes knowing that someone out there wants her, even if she doesn't truly want them back. None of these reasons serve you. They only serve her. And the more you chase after clarity, the more power you give away. You start adjusting your behavior based on her mood, walking on eggshells, hoping to do or say the right thing that will finally make her see your worth. But the reality is, your worth was never the problem. The problem is that she has already made a decision about you, and instead of fully letting you go, she's keeping you in a space where you never quite feel rejected, but you never feel chosen either. And that's a dangerous place to be because it keeps you stuck in a fantasy while she continues to live her life on her terms without any real commitment to you. When you find yourself in this situation, it's easy to make excuses for her behavior. You tell yourself she's just confused, that she needs time, that if you're patient enough, she'll finally realize what you mean to her. But the truth is, if she truly wanted you, she wouldn't put you in a position where you have to question everything. Real interest doesn't come with hesitation. When someone values you, they don't risk losing you by playing games. What's really happening here is a lack of respect for your time and emotions. She knows you're there, waiting, hoping, willing to give more of yourself despite her rejection. And because she knows you won't walk away, she doesn't have to make a choice. She can have the best of both worlds. The comfort of your attention without the responsibility of commitment. That's not love. That's convenience. And the more you allow it, the more you train yourself to accept less than what you deserve. You become someone who settles for breadcrumbs, someone who prioritizes someone else's indecision over their own self-respect. And once you fall into that trap, it's hard to break free. You convince yourself that this situation is better than nothing, that being around her, even in this uncertain way, is still worth it. But deep down, you know that's a lie. You know you're not truly happy. You're just afraid to let go of something that was never really yours to begin with. The biggest mistake you can make in this situation is waiting for her to change, waiting for her to finally see your worth, waiting for some magical moment where everything suddenly clicks into place. But let me tell you something, waiting is a trap. The longer you stay in this limbo, the more you lose yourself. Every day you spend hoping for her to make a decision is a day you're not making one for yourself. And while you're stuck in this cycle, she's living her life, exploring her options, keeping you around just enough to make sure you don't fully move on. Maybe she doesn't even realize she's doing it. Maybe she thinks she's being kind by staying connected. But kindness isn't leading someone on. Kindness is clarity. And if she truly cared about you, she wouldn't leave you second guessing everything. This is why you need to stop looking at her for answers and start looking at yourself. Ask yourself, is this situation making me feel empowered? Is this making me feel valued? Is this bringing me happiness? If the answer is no, then why are you still allowing it? Because of potential? Because of a hope that things might change? Hope is a beautiful thing, but misplaced hope will destroy you. You can't build something real with someone who doesn't know what they want. And you can't grow into the best version of yourself if you're constantly waiting for someone else to figure out how they feel about you. Emotional control is everything in this situation. The moment you let your feelings dictate your actions, you lose. You start making decisions based on what you wish would happen instead of what's actually happening. And that's exactly how you get stuck, caught up in an emotional loop where one small sign of interest from her is enough to erase all the rejection, all the confusion, all the moments where she made it clear she wasn't fully invested. But here's what you need to understand. Your emotions are not reality. They are responses to it. You might feel like she cares because she still flirts, still reaches out, still shows up in your life. But if she truly cared in the way you deserve, you wouldn't feel confused. You wouldn't feel like you have to analyze every little detail just to figure out where you stand. This is why emotional control is key. You need to stop reacting to every move she makes and start deciding for yourself what you're willing to tolerate. She texts you out of nowhere. That doesn't mean she's suddenly interested. It means she's checking to see if you're still there. She compliments you after rejecting you. That's not love. It's reassurance for her, not for you. The moment you take back control of your emotions is the moment you take back control of the situation. You stop chasing, you stop overanalyzing, and you stop waiting for her to give you permission to move on. And when you do that, something incredible happens. You regain your power. Because now, instead of being someone who's waiting to be chosen, you become someone who chooses for themselves. Confidence isn't about proving something to her. It's about proving something to yourself. When someone rejects you but still acts interested, the worst thing you can do is sit around waiting for her to decide your worth. The best thing you can do, decide for yourself. Stop seeking clarity from someone who already made their position clear. She said no. That's all the information you need. Anything else? Her lingering attention, her mixed signals, her occasional flirtation is just noise. And if you let that noise distract you, you'll keep giving energy to someone who doesn't fully respect what you bring to the table. So here's what you do. You step back and own your value. You don't beg for answers. You don't wait for her to figure things out. And you definitely don't keep yourself in the background as her emotional safety net. Instead, you refocus all that energy on yourself, your growth, your mindset, your purpose. You build yourself up in ways that make her hesitation completely irrelevant. And guess what happens when you do that? You stop feeling like you need her to choose you. You stop being affected by her inconsistency. You become so grounded in your own worth that you don't settle for anyone who doesn't show up with the same certainty and energy that you bring. That's how you win, not by waiting, not by hoping, but by becoming someone who doesn't wait to be chosen because they already know they are enough. At the end of the day, this isn't about her, it's about you, about how much you respect yourself, about how much you value your time, about whether you're willing to be a backup plan or if you're ready to be the main character in your own life. A woman who truly wants you will not put you in a position where you have to question her feelings. She will not play games, send mixed signals, or keep you around as an option. And the moment you stop entertaining that kind of energy is the moment you set a new standard, not just for her, but for everyone in your life. So walk away with confidence. Walk away knowing that rejection is not a reflection of your worth, but an opportunity to find someone who chooses you without hesitation. Because real strength isn't in convincing someone to want you. It's in knowing when to let go and move forward like the unstoppable force that you are.